Oh my candle. 71,000 plus. Guys, that's really, really, really sweet. However, altcoins are still running behind like very far. And in this video, I want to go over the average returns in November because November has three things that's super bullish in this case. One, it's cyclical behavior that like Q4 is good, especially Q4 of the post halving year or the halving year, sorry. We have the elections, and most bullish is potentially the FOMC that's coming up. Because the FOMC is going to show us like, hey, is the Fed still reducing their balance sheets? And if not, then we potentially see QE, and that's usually what marks off a bull run, especially for altcoins. So there's a lot of interesting stuff. Plus, technically, if I look at this chart, like I showed this in a couple of videos ago as well, like you can draw it like closure to closure, wick to this wick maybe, and this one, but you can draw it as bearish as you can, right? This wick to the upper side of this wick. And in every single case, we now have a fat breakout. The only question is, are we going to sustain this? And why the fuck are altcoins lagging that much? So let's go over that. Because I do think that if you have money, you put it in market right now, because this is going to be really bullish, guys. So welcome to the Fomo Factory. Smack the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, check out the Patreon in the pinned comment. Good shit coming there, right? So you want to be there. And let's get over into up in here. I don't know. It's been a long weekend for me. Like I said, altcoins are lagging. If you look at Bitcoin is kind of at all-time highs, right? You have this little wick right here, but hey, if we close the week maybe slightly higher than where we are, then it would be the highest weekly closure ever for Bitcoin. Fuck yeah. However, if you look at altcoins, yeah, we're kind of at the same level as where we were in the 18th of December 2023. Well, if you look at Bitcoin, that's here. Right? So altcoins haven't moved since then, and Bitcoin went from 40K to 70K. Right? What the hell? Yeah. It's because the Bitcoin dominance is like, if this was a coin, there would have been a pretty good buy, right? Like this thing has been mooning, and this shows like, wow, every time altcoins moon, people take that money out and they put it into Bitcoin, right? That's what's been going on for a long while. Now, in my opinion, to take this trade now is really too late. You should have done that a long time ago. And there are a lot of people out there that didn't believe it here and now talking like, oh, it's going so high. Oh, look at me. I predicted this. No, shut the fuck up, man. Like, no, a lot of people didn't see this coming, right? Well, it was like, it's not that weird. It's not that weird. Like, the dominance is the indicator like, hey, is it Bitcoin or altcoin season? And, in this case, it's up and that's Bitcoin season. And if it's going down, then it's going to be an alt season. Now, like Virtual Bacon made a video. I think he dropped it, a live stream yesterday or something. He explained, based on the FOMC, why an alt season is very likely to happen soon. Now, I gave my reasons, multiple reasons, but that's more TA and cycle-wise, why an alt season is most likely to start in December this year, right? Could be a little sooner, earlier, or later. But he kind of said the same, but for a different reason. And that's because it is very likely that the Fed is going to pivot right now, and that it's going to be QE instead of QT, and that marks off alt seasons. That's based on history. That always happens. And it's very likely that they're going to do that either November, December, latest January. I just found it fascinating that that lines up exactly with the fact that we've been talking on this channel also about alt season coming in that same period, but like I said, for different reasons. So that's yet another reason why alt season should happen. Last video, I talked a lot about the sentiment. A lot of people don't believe it anymore, right? Alt season not gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. That's also a very good indicator that alt season is probably happening soon. That's how it works, right? People have to stop believing first, get out of the market, take away the liquidity. And once there is not a lot of liquidity, then it can pump. That's just how it works. And every time, again, people fall for that. It's just what it is. Can't help it. Some altcoins keep on doing fantastic, of course. If we look at Seed World, for example, from Seedify, they came out and it was straight up and up another leg, and now it's going sideways, right? And that's really good because it's never correcting. It's just up and sideways. Again, like if we see an alt season, then these low caps, they moon very easily because it doesn't take a lot of money from Bitcoin to be put in these altcoins to gain a lot of market share, right? Bitcoin is $1 trillion asset. Yeah, if a little part of that goes into an asset with like a $9 million market cap, then this thing explodes, for example. Now, there are a lot of altcoins, of course. So it's harder to choose, but I do think that it's not like throw a dart in the dartboard anymore and you will get rich. Not like that. But I do think that if you don't make money in this coming altcoin bull market, then you have to do something really weird, right? It's if you just buy gaming, buy good memes, good ones, not the low like just good memes. If you buy AI, if you buy launchpads, potentially RWA, but still DeFi, layer ones, layer twos, whatever, just these things, you will do fine. And it doesn't really matter that much what you buy, actually. You will make money anyway. But November is coming. And although I do expect that the fat alt season is really happening in December, right? Like around December. Can we already expect something nice for November? Well, let's take a look. So I want to look at Bitcoin first because you can say whatever you want, but Bitcoin is the leading asset out there in the crypto space. And if it wasn't for Bitcoin, altcoins wouldn't be doing well as well. So let's take a look at the average returns for Bitcoin in November and also for the altcoin market in November, but not just November, also specifically for November in the halving year, in the election year, right? Because these years are, of course, a little different than non-halving or election years. So I marked off all the Novembers that we had from 2010 until now. There are some outliers, which I think bring the average up in a way which is maybe not really realistic, but then again, yeah, it's part of the average. But for example, we had one November right here, which had a gain of 470% in 1 month. Yeah, we cannot expect something this time as well. But then again, it's part of the average. And if you put it all together, then the average move for November is 39%. I don't think that this is realistic though. But hey, who knows, right? So let's say that we close this month where we are right now and we go up 39%. Then Bitcoin at the end of November could be sitting at, let's say, $98,000. I think that we have to look at the bigger picture though, right? So again, this is possible. Matter of fact, this is average, so it's pretty likely even. But with this outlier that we have right here, plus the fact that it's now the halving year, we can also take a look at only the Novembers in the halving years, right? And those were 3 so far. So, hey, and how far can we get a good average? Well, there's an average of these 3, of course. And that's 20.4%. Now, this is way more realistic. This is what Bitcoin always has done so far. So if we go up 20.4% in November, then we could end next month at around $85,000, $86,000. That would be average. That's the cyclical behavior for Bitcoin in this month during this period and this stage of the market and these market conditions when it comes to the macro, presidential elections, etc. So that's most realistic in my opinion, $85,000, which is a very good number, of course, for a lot of people actually. Now, let's apply this at the altcoin market as well, because altcoins are known for a little lagging here and there, of course, so far. And this is harder to do, right? Because for the altcoin market, well, let's take a look. We have 2020, of course, which was the halving year. Let me do it on the screen, by the way, just so you can see it. 2020, we had a November right here. And then we have 2016, we had a November right here, there. Why not 2012? Because in 2012 there were no altcoins. Maybe we had Litecoin, not sure, whatever. However, this is not really interesting. As you can see, the first November was down 2.3%, and the other one was up 18.20%. So let's say on average up 8%, give or take, right? 8%. That's not that spectacular, actually, right? That's not like super spectacular. If we do that, then we would be sitting, basically at the same place, but 8% higher. Well, whoop-de-doo. Of course, this time could be different. It's all possible, but the small information that we have for the altcoin market says that we should not get too excited yet. And that's just simply, again, because the Bitcoin dominance. I mean, look at this monthly candle right here. It's up 4%. And it doesn't sound like a lot. But the last time we had a candle like that was actually in October 2023. So that was 1 year ago. And, it seems that Octobers are just not the best, months for altcoins, as the dominance is really mooning at this specific moment. So what makes people come back, actually? What do we need? Well, I think that we need Bitcoin to make clear all-time highs. And why do I say that? Well, very simple. If you look at when Bitcoin made all-time highs, right? So we had a high here, and we broke it right there. We had a high here, and we broke it right there. Look, this was in May 2017. Bitcoin finally made a new all-time high. And if you look at May 2017, that's here. This is where altcoins, like, this was the candle that, like, we were in the second leg, basically, right? So after Bitcoin made new all-time highs, altcoins finally they started to kind of go. If you again also look at it here in December 2020, where we broke clearly above it, this is even more clear, by the way, December 2020, was here. So Bitcoin finally made an all-time high. Altcoins here didn't really bother yet, and after that they followed. I think we need that. Plus, that brings in retail. Because now it's nice and all. Bitcoin 72K was hit, basically, right? And the few people that are here are celebrating. But if you look at the people that are here, it's not a lot, right? People are kind of going away, actually. They don't give a fuck. I see it on my own channel as well. The views getting less and less and less. If you look at it over the last 90 days, then it's not that much, right? If you look at the all section right here, what Eric Crown showed this for his channel as well, and I thought, like, maybe it's funny to show, right? Like, if you look at this, when was the moment when people watched the channel? Sorry, it's Dutch, but these are views what I'm looking at right now, right? It's simple, right? Here, this whole area right here was kind of the peak, and this was in end of 2023 until March 2024, right? What's funny, that's when most people were interested in crypto, right? That happened to be, if you look at altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, happened to be the only period in this market where altcoins outperformed Bitcoin a little bit. Again, so people, the retail, whatever, is not even interested in Bitcoin. They want to see altcoins go up. And then they will finally be like, oh yeah, let's check out what's happening. Right? So we need Bitcoin to break that all-time high first and really break and be above it, right? Then people feel like, whoa, I made money with Bitcoin right now. I'm in price discovery. I'm in profit. Let's put it into altcoins. And then that ball gets rolling and, more people get in. So for now, yeah, it's been a heavy couple of days, the last few days. I mean, the altcoin or the Bitcoin dominance again making new cycle highs, right? I think it's in a big resistance area, but we'll find out soon enough, I guess. But yeah, if you look at altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, made a new low, right? Still in the support area. If you look at others' dominance, interesting, right? It's holding this parallel channel still, and it's at the fucking bottom. Like, that's the official term for this. I don't know anything else to describe it. The fucking bottom, right? So if you want to buy altcoins anywhere, it looks to be the moment right before we get a fat alt season. And hey, maybe again, it could take a month, it could take 2 months. Maybe in that period, they will get wrecked more and more and more. It's possible, right? If you look at this, altcoins minus, well, total 3. So everything excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT on its Bitcoin pair, then you can see that it's still holding up, right? But why is it holding up? I think it has something to do with the fact that Solana is also included in this chart and that thing has been mooning like crazy. So the fact that Solana has been going up doesn't mean that the other altcoins are. So it might be that we are actually looking at a bottom right now. I mean, this chart doesn't have Solana. Yeah, no XRP, no Cardano, no USDC, USDT, Doge, whatever. No high caps, no top 10. And yeah, if you exclude that, then you can see that the lower cap altcoins might look for a bottom right here. So in my opinion, it is the perfect moment to look at altcoins right now. And maybe you can lose in the meantime a little bit with it. It's possible, I don't know, but it shouldn't matter. You should not try to time the bottom. I want to wrap it up right here. We have to wait for the market. I mean, Bitcoin is doing well. It's doing nicely. But still, it's not a fat breakout yet. Altcoins are not going with it. So if anything, use this time to DCA in your favorite altcoins. That's what I would say, because alt season is coming and it will be bigger than what we have seen this whole cycle so far. It's not that hard because we haven't seen shit yet. So it's going to be very exciting, guys. So thanks for watching. Smack the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back tomorrow, of course. Bye-bye. Take care.